$29.52. Please note, offers not to apply towards account balances or dental services already delivered, and not in conjunction with any other offers, discounts, or reduced fees plans. Just Google it. Oak Ridge Dental Care.
All right, 26 minutes before 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. A beautiful Monday morning. I ate an apple the other day, Robin, and I thought I saw a worm. I never have seen a worm in an apple before. That's the old cartoon, right? There's a worm in an apple. It wasn't a worm. You know what it was? It was one of the seeds in the apple started growing in the apple. So I took the seed out of the apple and I wrapped it up in a wet paper towel, and it's in a cup on my desk. I'm going to grow an apple tree right here in WOCA. This is my plan, Robin. Do you think I can pull this off?
Oh, I do. I think you'll be able to pull it off. It's pretty awesome.
So if I do, then we'll have to ask Joe if it's okay to keep an apple tree in the office. If you want an apple tree, you can go to Bob Wine's. Look at this. Bob Wine's Camelia Gardens and Nursery. Laurie Williams is on the phone, and she sent us a note saying they have apple trees. Good morning, Laurie.
Morning. How are you?
Good. I'm growing an apple tree in a coffee cup.
I heard you say that. That's just wonderful.
Have you ever seen a seed in an apple that was starting to grow?
No, I have not.
Well, you know what the problem is? I don't eat the apples right away. They kind of sit on the shelf about a month.
Oh.
So I was eating one, and I am not making it up. I should show it to you. I should get a little video of it or a picture of it or something. It looks like a worm. Sure. It looks like a worm coming out of the seed.
I don't know. I don't know if I'd want to eat the apple, see, or something like that.
But you have apple trees for sale?
We do. We sell apple trees. We sell all kinds of fruit trees, but we have apple trees, peach trees, plum trees, pear trees, all those kind of fruit trees. But wanted to talk this morning about apple trees and peach trees and the fruit trees, and they have what they call chill hours.
Okay.
Which you want to make sure that you get varieties that are good for Central Florida, because a lot of times when you go to the big box stores, they give you fruit trees that are not good for this area because they have what they call chill hours.
Okay.
And chill hours means that, like on some of the apple trees, the northern apple trees have to have like 1,400 hours of chill time, which is like 1,400 hours below 45 degrees.
Okay.
So that's not going to grow down here because we don't have that much cold.
Yeah, right.
But we have other varieties that only need like 250 chill hours. So you just got to make sure that you get varieties that are good for this area, which we have like Anna apples and Dorset apples, which are Florida variety apple trees that don't need that much chill hours. So therefore they don't have to be as dormant, and then they will produce and give you apples. Otherwise they might bloom for you, but they're not ever going to produce fruit for you. They just kind of sit there.
So when you go to the grocery store, like in the produce section, there are so many choices of apples. Is the same thing true for peaches? Is there more than one?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep, there's a lot of different varieties of peach trees also, yep. And you have your Georgia peaches, which don't really grow down here because we have to have, less chill time. But we've got a lot of good peach trees that are good for this area. A number of different varieties. The University of Florida actually put out some varieties of peach trees that are real good. And we sell them, and we have one planted here at the nursery. So peach trees do very well. You just have to make sure you get the ones that are good for this area.
Really? And I used to have in my yard a fig tree, but I never saw any fig Newtons on it. I kept waiting, but I never did see anything on it at all. Is that normal to see a fig tree without anything on it?
Usually your fig trees will produce, but it might be a fertilizer thing too. You've got to make sure that you fertilize them 3 times a year. And you also got to be careful about the fertilizers that you get, because sometimes when you go to the big box stores, you pick up the citrus fertilizer and the fruit fertilizer that they have, but the nutrients are so low in them that they just don't work well. Like a lot of times, for example, you'll get a citrus and fruit fertilizer and the numbers on it are like a 686, which don't have a lot of nutrients. But we carry a variety, the brand is Fertilome, and it's like a 1910-5. So it has a lot more nutrients in it, minor elements and stuff that are much better for your fruit trees and citrus trees, so they'll produce.
I had heard that you have to have a male and a female fruit tree for them to produce. Is that a myth?
No, you're right. On some of them you do. Not on peaches or nectarines. They will pollinate themselves. But when you have apple trees and pear trees and plum trees, most of those you have to, in even pecan trees, a lot of the pecan trees, you have to have 2 different varieties so they pollinate each other.
How do you tell? How do you know which is the boy and which is the girl?
You come to a nursery and we have them labeled.
Really? That's
wow.
pretty cool.
And do they stay the same sex all their lives, or can they switch over like in San Francisco?
No, they stay the same sex. It's just a matter of the bees going around and pollinating them and taking the pollen, from one tree and putting it on the other tree.
Okay. Have you ever looked at a Chihuahua and wondered how people thought that was a dog after looking at a Great Dane? How could they both be a dog, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I often think about apples that way. How did somebody say this is an apple and so is this? They look
Right.
like two different fruits.
Yes. Some fruit is that way.
Yeah.
Oh, you have a wonderful sale going on with your citrus trees, but I don't know what a cocktail tree is.
Yeah, cocktail trees are an interesting citrus tree. What it is like if you have a smaller yard and don't have as much room and you still want, 3 or 4 different varieties of citrus trees, we have cocktail trees where they have grafted 3 to 5 different fruit on one tree. So you can get like a lemon, a lime, and an orange together on one tree, or a grapefruit, an orange, and a tangerine on a tree. So you just have one tree, but you have all this different fruit on it.
And do you need a male and female tree for that too?
No, citrus trees do not need male and females except for honeybell. Honeybell is the only citrus tree that you have to have a pollinator for.
Wow.
Really? So you can have a banana, a pickle, and an onion all in the same tree?
No, it has to be the same species.
Oh, okay, sorry. Is a banana considered a tropical fruit? Is a banana a tropical fruit? What is a banana?
Yeah, more of a tropical fruit. But they do grow up here. We have a banana trees back behind the nursery. There's a big shed and there's a bunch of them planted back there, and we get bananas all the time off of it. But it's in a little more protected area rather than right out in the open, and they tend to do better if they're a little more protected.
Bananas.
From the frost.
I had some banana trees. I don't know if I told you this before. I had some bananas on my banana. In fact, I have some right now. I haven't looked at it in a while. I hope they're still okay. But I ripened them. Was it last year I did this?
Yes.
I put them in a paper bag. Carol Ann told me. Put them
yes.
With an apple, and it made them turn yellow, and they were good.
Yeah, it doesn't take, and they're so much better than you get at the grocery store.
And they weren't.
The flavor is completely different.
They were very good, but they weren't pretty. They were just ugly, delicious bananas.
Exactly. They're always ugly like that, though. That's right. They're not pretty like in the store because they don't have all those chemicals on them.
Are olive trees fruit trees?
Olive trees also, you consider those fruit trees, and they are self-pollinating, and they'll give you olives, and they do very well. They're pretty cold-hardy, the olive trees that we have.
So right now is a good time, huh? We can go get some trees. How long after you planted them would you start to get fruit?
Depends on the size and the varieties that you're getting, but the ones that we have, most of the ones that we have, even the fruit bushes like blackberries and raspberries and stuff, they'll produce their first year. They're old enough to produce, and if they, a lot of times you don't have to pick the old stuff off. It'll fall off what it can't hold.
Okay. So what do? You bring them on a truck, or do we bring them home? You remember when I was a kid, I used to come to Florida. They would sell orange trees in a little tiny box. I don't know if they ever grew or not. I never bought one.
Yeah. No, we have smaller ones that you can pick up and plant yourself, and then we can also deliver and install the larger ones, or even the smaller ones. If you need them installed, we can do that also. We offer that service.
And do we have to worry about canker?
No. I don't think we've ever had a problem with canker up here. Sometimes you have, with citrus trees, we've had issues with the greening, but it looks like the University of Florida, I guess, is coming out with something to kind of combat that.
I always recommend, if you're listening to Laurie talk about Bob Wine's Camelia Gardens and Nursery, go to their Facebook page. That's where you see photographs of a lot of these things. Plus, if you go on Mondays, you get to see the flyer with all of the sale items on it. I'm looking at it right now. Instant shade trees. Instant shade, Robin. I like that.
Me too.
Weed and feed, pine bark, cypress mulch. What's I can pick on here today? Indian hawthorn. 6 for $29.99. That's pretty good.
Yes. Yeah, and they have little white flowers on them. They're real hardy. They'll grow in full sun. They don't get real tall. It's a good shrub.
So I guess the lesson of today's call is that if we're going to get a fruit tree, we have to make sure it's got the chill hours that are appropriate for this area.
Exactly.
All
and
right.
if you come see us, we can help you with it, and we can even help you as far as where to place it in your yard and all that kind of stuff too. And the fertilizer that you'll want to use.
That's it.
We have little information. We have information sheets that we give out to them so they know, the watering, the fertilizing, the pest control. So we're here to help.
Yeah, when you were talking about fertilizer, I was thinking that sounds too sciencey for me. I have to just sell me the bag.
We make it real easy.
Just sell me the bag. All right, what is the phone number at Bob Wine's, Laurie?
It's 352-629-5766.
All right, go see Laurie and Bob and bring home a tree and plant it and you'll have some fruit. There you go. You can pick your own, not bananas.
The cocktail tree. I'm going to get
I
one
like
of
the
those.
cocktail tree. I want one that grows tuna and mayonnaise on the same tree. That's what I want.
Oh man! And some wheat for the bread, right?
Yes. Thank you, Laurie.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
We'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. A mix of clouds and sunshine Monday. Breezy this afternoon. High Monday 77 to 83 degrees. Monday night,